What's up, everybody? Welcome to Smores Indoors and Monday Night Live, number 3 weeks in a row. I've been keeping the trend going, trying to do my best, but hope everyone's doing well tonight. Going to talk a little bit about wrestling and my lack of give a shit for it as of late, and some other topics, I'm sure. But I'm not alone. As of right now, we've got Flesh Wound Dan here with me. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Corey? How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. It's good to be on here. It's good to not have to go in early tomorrow. So that's why I do these Monday night shows because Tuesday's my late night or later day to go in. So
Yeah,
uh,
also nice. Raw was earlier in the day today, so
oh yeah,
yeah, you're
were
not
they
you're
in?
not eating.
Well, they did have the show in was it Italy yesterday? So
Yeah, I forgot where they were today. Maybe today was Spain. I'd have to double
okay.
check, but no, maybe it was somewhere else in Italy. Yeah.
What's up, Greg and David out there?
Hey, Greg,
Good
David,
to have you
what's
in.
up?
So you watched whatever the event was yesterday. Was there anything that stood out from that show?
A solid show. Um, Kind of predictable in some ways. I mean, it was pretty obvious that Brock Obo was going to be a series. It wouldn't have made a best of a three match series, and wouldn't make much sense for Brock to go 0-2. So that was kind of predictable. Um, Standard Brock match, just F5, F5, F5
Yeah.
kind of thing, but probably a little more content than the WrestleMania match, which was just basically a squash.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
yeah,
Uh,
no, it was a solid show. I mean, Cody Gunther, not a lot was resolved. I mean, they
yeah.
did the foot under the rope finish and everything, but solid action. I was happy to see Sol Ruka get the women's intercontinental title.
Oh,
That
nice.
was nice.
She is impressive. I watched that show. She was on when Cena retired, and uh, she's pretty impressive. Some of the stuff she does, that finisher she does, is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Soul Snatcher. The only like downside with that is you have to be very specifically positioned
Yeah.
as a finish. Although I've seen her do that like off of the top ropes, like throwing herself way backwards to hit it. So
Yeah.
it is pretty cool. It is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'll
Yeah.
give her that.
Um, yeah. Those shows remind me of like I'm sure you were watching way back when every non big event was an in your house. And
Oh
those
yeah,
they really didn't accomplish much on those in your house shows. Some decent matches maybe, but I think
yeah,
there was like years when they were doing in your house. The heavyweight title never changed on those shows. So
yeah. It it was a cheaper pay per view for
yeah,
one. Uh, I think it was $20 if memory
I
serves.
think
It's been a
so.
while. So, it was a little bit more affordable, and there were certainly some good ones. I'm
Oh yeah,
surprised. I mean, I know there's a lot of nostalgia for that. So,
yeah. I did like a lot of those shows, like Mind Games with Foley and Shawn
yeah.
Michaels was a great one, and yeah, so there were some good ones for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mind Games was definitely one of the better ones.
yeah, um, I missed that time. I'm trying to think if those were 20 were like the main events like 40 at that time.
No, 29.99, I believe. That
Oh,
well,
was
it,
it? Okay.
it would have changed, I think, as you got into the Attitude Era a little
Right.
bit. But for a while, I could be misremembering, but for a while, I believe In Your House was 20 and the other pay-per-views were 30.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah. It I still remember I never went to an In Your House, but I did go to like an Action Zone taping back
Okay.
when they taped like 8 hours worth of Action
Oh
Zone.
God.
Yeah, yeah. They have like they tape like the actual action zone you saw, and then they'd have like a random main event in between. So you'd see like, all right, Sid's gonna squash British Bulldog here. We
Yeah.
get BK Vader. That's actually where Vader like grabbed me and like threatened to kill me.
That's cool.
You can actually pinpoint the exact tapings I was at, and I know I'm going super in the weeds here, but it was when Aldo Montoya, who's just incredible,
Yeah.
scored an upset win over Jerry Lawler.
Okay.
They kind of made a thing of it for a minute. So if you can find that, a young Dan was at that show.
I know. I mean, we've talked about it before. You were at the New Jack Vic Grimes match, but if you go back to like the WWF shows or WCW, I don't know if you went to any WCW shows.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest moment that you saw on like a TV taping show?
Oh,
Was there any
wow.
like big moments in wrestling history that happened at any shows you were at?
God, I'm trying to remember. I went to a lot, and a lot were house shows. So, not so much historical. I was at one house show where Goldust had a ladder match with HBK. That was pretty cool. I remember that. God, as I'm getting older, it's hard to remember the buildings and everything now. Yeah. Oh, Cliff Booth might have just watched my the one I was at.
Oh, nice.
That one I do vividly remember because I was a big HBK guy. What up, Orc? And I was a really big Vader guy. So the fact that I got to see those two work a match together was really awesome. And that show was at the Yakima Sundome. It would have, I think, been 1996. Would have been the year, I'm pretty sure, that sort of tracks. So, yes, if you can find that Jerry Lawler match where he loses to Aldo Montoya, I was at those tapings.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I got a couple that I was at that were like kind of big things. One of them was on, I don't know if you remember they put out like a single disc Monday Night Wars DVD, and this match was on there. It was right when Bischoff came to WWE. They put this out. But the match was Owen and Bulldog were the tag team champions, and Shawn Michaels had been out of action for a while, and he came back, and him and Austin teamed together and won the tag team titles on Raw.
Nice.
So I was at that show, and that was Austin's first title belt in WWF, actually.
Oh, that's very cool.
So that was cool. And then I was at a Nitro where was at the Nitro that Lex Luger joined the Wolfpack. So
the last big pay-per-view I was at, because honestly, like running wrestling with Flesh Wound and I'm more indie guy now, but
yeah.
Last big pay-per-view I was at was out here, Survivor Series, when it was Undertaker and Kane versus the Wyatt family. It's like the anniversary of Undertaker.
Yeah.
At that point, and I can't remember exactly, but that was like the last pay-per-view I was at. I believe, unless I'm mixing up pay-per-views, it's where Sheamus cashed in Money in the Bank. I was at that and won. So that's another one. Yeah, but I don't think anything will beat Free Fall.
No, probably not. Probably not. I remember
Imagine
used to go online and there'd be people saying it was like, if it'd be like, maybe it was YouTube back in the day, like way back, it would say Owen Hart falls to his death, and you click it and it was that Vic Grimes clip.
Oh no, dude! Like just a dude that big getting thrown off a scaffold like that. Like I mean, you don't normally experience that kind of sound, that kind of impact. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that, had he have cleared those ropes, he would have splattered on the concrete.
Yeah.
And Buddy Wayne, Cliff, like, you're watching one I was at, because I do remember. I think I want to say he wrestled Bret Hart, maybe, and I could be crisscrossing, but I want to say I know I was at a show where he wrestled Bret Hart. That also tracks with about 96, but yeah.
Let's see. Greg says, did you watch any shows live in the Attitude Era? How hot were the women wrestlers back then? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I always watched it every week. And yeah, saw a lot of those girls live. So,
oh, yeah.
Cool.
The wrestling quality's gone up significantly, but a little less jiggle now, unfortunately.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that because we'll get to that. I'll talk a little bit about that. But talking about Attitude Era women, I was going to meet Lita, but she postponed, and I think she's going to be at like the horror con they do early in the year next year, maybe. So that'll be good. I'll meet her there, and but I'm excited to meet Kevin Nash. I've always kind of wanted to meet him, so
oh, nice.
It was a good replacement for me.
I met Kevin Nash a couple times, but I met him at the Nitro Grill.
Yeah,
actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. And Lita's friendly, kind of quiet, but always friendly. I've met her a couple times too.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of her.
I don't think she would have been as big of a thing now because, like, she had some flashy moves, but I think the bar now, you're not just getting over on being able to do a Hurricane Rana off the top. Like, that's cool, but like I mean, for my girl for that era was Victoria. Yeah. She was just such an awesome, well-rounded wrestler, great character. She was definitely my favorite.
Did they not have a match? Was there not a Raw one time where Trish and Lita were like the main event?
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
I
was trying to like compare them, their wrestling ability to women on the show now, and they're probably, I don't even know who to compare them to, like talent wise.
I mean, it's not all about just your skill in the ring. Obviously, it's character that makes you money at the end of the day. But WWE's women's division, especially through NXT as well, is pretty insane today. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of women capable of having main event level matches. And that wasn't as much some could, and obviously Lita and Trish proved that you could do it. But, you know, your Candice Michelle's, your Eve Torres, your Kelly Kelly's, you know, they weren't main eventers, and that, you know, was what it was.
They were perfect though for that time and where we were as a culture, though, you know what I mean? We were like in that late 90s, early 2000s, where everything was kind of, I don't even know. It was like the Springer type of vibe in society.
Yeah. So Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
We try. I mean, we're getting ready to crown our first women's champion, the Scream Queen champion, in July. So we've got a women's tournament coming up. Mm-hmm. And I think you can do both. I mean, I still think you can have some of the more sexual stuff and still have good in-ring action. Like, I do think it's possible to do both. I mean, I'm a big ODB guy, but ODB was like also like Bronco bustering and grabbing her tits, calling all the beautiful people skanky hoes, and like, it's fun. You can have characters like that and still deliver an awesome in-ring match. So
God, she would have been perfect in the Attitude Era if she'd have been.
ODB to me is one of the big what ifs, because she would have gotten over huge in WWE. I mean, and she was in OVW. She wasn't signed, but she was working in OVW to get signed. And I mean, you just look at like that Beautiful People feud in TNA. I mean, imagine Michelle McCool, Laycool, like getting just the shit kicked out of him by ODB. Like it would have gotten over, and there's so much money to be made there. I think today she gets signed, but they had a very specific vision of what a diva was. And when they dropped that, I think it became a little more open for some interesting talent.
Jacqueline was really talented in the ring.
Well, Jacqueline could wrestle. Like, Sable couldn't wrestle.
No.
In fact, there was all that drama with like Luna having to carry her and everybody fawning over Sable in the back. You can see that on Dark Side of the Ring. It's actually kind of sad because it was like you were having to power bomb yourself with Sable, and it wasn't
that's a little sad.
it was
Cliff saying that he thinks the show was July 28th of 96.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely 1996 because they had just signed a lot of the territory guys from Smoky Mountain. We had like TL Hopper was on that, Freddie Joe Floyd, Tracy Smothers, who I got to know later and learned that it's not good to bring up Freddie Joe Floyd in that run. Super nice guy. Tracy Smothers was the one that actually gave me a really cool pep talk. I obviously didn't continue on much later, but Tracy Smothers was like a class act. Had I have made it, it would have been cool to wrestle him.
Late in his life, he wrestled pretty much every week here around here, and actually passed away in the hospital here. So.
Oh yeah, I do remember you say. Yeah, he's one of those guys that I think had he have come along a little bit earlier, he probably would have been a really big territory guy. I mean, I loved the Southern Boys. I loved the FBI run. Like, he was always super entertaining and very good in the ring. It's just, he's one of those ones. If it just like, superstar Billy Graham, had he have come along a little bit later, he probably would have made a shit ton of money. And same thing with Tracy Smothers. Had it happened earlier for him, it would have been amazing. But yeah, he was one of those ones. And I'm sure I've told this story before, but when I was like training, and, just going to indie shows, helping out, not even really just training, just helping set up rings and everything. I was like told, like, you're big, but you're not a monster.
Yeah.
You don't have a six pack, like all of that stuff, like that specific, WWE views of what a superstar was. And I'll never forget, it was said to me, like, that, like, you look at the Daniel Bryan, later on, Kevin Steen, later Kevin Owens. Yeah. Like, those guys are never going to get signed, is what was told to me. And they'll never do anything big beyond the indies. And I was like, Kevin Owens gets signed, beats John Cena, becomes massive. Daniel Bryan, probably the most over dude.
The biggest WrestleMania main events.
And it wasn't meant to be for me because, like, being away from my family and everything, and I was very paranoid, not about getting hurt, but about hurting somebody else.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. I always had that thing in my head, like, what if I did, like, paralyze a guy or kill a guy somehow? on a botched move or something, because it happens. So there were a few different reasons why I didn't keep going, but yeah.
I was going to go back to and by the way, I think, who were we talking about?
Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers. Gosh, I'm getting old. Yeah, I think he married a lady from here, so that's why he was here so much.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah.
So.
He was one that I saw like years later at a show, and he actually remembered me because I wasn't friends with the guy or anything. Yeah. He just was like kind of like that positive voice. Don't listen to that stupid bullshit. Like, look at Mick Foley. Look at, it's kind of funny because if you look at wrestling pre like WWE boom under Vince, like you had a lot of dudes that just looked like regular dudes. I mean, they were truck drivers. They were tough looking guys, but like you didn't have a lot of guys that looked like Batista. That was pretty rare. So, yeah. Smothers was a cool guy. He deserves to be remembered fondly.
I also one of the people I saw like at one of the last indie shows I went to several years ago was Chris Champion. He was doing the Yoshi Kwan in a match, and I think he died shortly after that match. Ooh. So I probably saw one of his last matches he had.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I thought I witnessed. I thought I witessed the end of Vic Grimes.
Yeah.
Because I knew like, okay, that didn't go how it was supposed to go.
No.
Not that I knew how to wrestle or anything, but like I knew like, okay, he wasn't supposed to hit the ropes like that. Like he's dead. That's what I thought at the time.
I wanted to go back to the women. One person I was going to mention, I'm shocked they never brought into WWE was Velvet Sky.
Yeah, I think maybe she was like a little bit older at the point where I think they would have done it. Because it's funny because like 100% back in the day, I don't know why they didn't sign the Beautiful People.
Yeah.
Because they would have made so much money for WWE. They were like the top ratings draw in TNA there for a while.
Right.
So I'm not sure why they didn't do it back then. I mean, for a while it was like a Vince thing. It's like we're just not really signing TNA guys that much because imagine how much money you could have made off Samoa Joe if you had signed him years before you did. I mean, he's still going strong in
AJ Styles too.
AJ, absolutely, and they did try early on. In fairness with him, but you don't want to have too rigid of a view of what wrestling should be. Because I've had that conversation and, getting to know a lot of people now on the indie circuit, you have to be able to bend a little bit. Because if you're like just totally like, maybe the Jim Cornette view, like this is how wrestling's supposed to be, never deviate, that can get stale. Now, that's not to say that I don't love that type of wrestling because I do, but in fact, I think it was actually Kevin Owens who did a shoot interview about that and said like very talented guy, great ideas, but he was very stuck to some old stuff like concepts like we're gonna do this feud and whoever wins gets the bag of $100,000. It was very like old-fashioned kind of stuff that wasn't necessarily working as well at that point. And so
what's up, Dirk? What's going on?
What's up, Dirk? How are you doing? And what up, Winter Steel? I could look like Dutch Mantel. I'll probably grow into Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, it could.
If I keep the beard.
Didn't they bring in Madison Rain for like a cup of coffee?
Yeah, she was yes, she worked like the Mae Young Classic, and I think she was doing some agent stuff, but it never really amounted to much, unfortunately. Yeah, there was a lot of good talent there. Roxy Laveau, who a lot of people may not remember, unless you were a big TNA person. Like, Rosemary, again, another one. If they had signed early back in the day, I think could have made them a lot of money.
Uso brothers are the Undertaker. Cool.
Nice. Swamp ass sucks. It does suck. It is a thing.
So yeah, I wanted to do this a little bit about kind of why I've lost interest some, because I've got to say, like up until last year when they did the Cena heel turn, man, I was really into it, and them fumbling that really kind of made me fall out of it, because it started off so good and then it just shit the bed. I feel like. What was your thoughts on that whole heel run for Cena?
I think there were a few issues with it. Number one, he already pre-announced 1 year, which is not a lot when you're on a part-time schedule. Although he was working, more often than he normally would. I think had they have had a few years where they could do like a real run with it, they could have made it work. But he wasn't going to go out as a heel, so like you had to tell that story. It's like trying to tell Stephen King's The Stand but you only get 100 pages.
Yeah,
there's more story to tell there, and yeah, I mean, hey, it was still really cool when it happened. So yeah, they've botched some things lately, but there is also a lot of good stuff going on. Like tonight, they had a fantastic main event with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. That was fun. Some guys are starting to. I mean, obviously, Obafemi's already a big draw for them. Trick is getting over huge. Like there's positive things, but I've noticed one thing that I think everybody should consider. WWE and AEW aren't your only options. There's a lot of wrestling out there. MLW's doing great stuff. TNA is still very entertaining. The highlight of my week, wrestling wise, was AAA and the battle of El Grande Americano, OG and new. That's one of the best matches I've seen, certainly on a WWE affiliated show in a long time.
I'm going to go back and check that match out. I think
at least watch that match. The whole show was really good too, but like just the story, everything going into it. Who would have thought a guy named Ludwig would be like the most over luchador in Mexico, in AAA at least? Like it's insane. And yeah,
I want to get more into kind of why it's lost me. I did want to pull this up and we can answer this. Who's the worst wrestler you've seen live, non-jobber?
I can tell you exactly who. I don't remember his real name, but he wrestled at one point as Skittles. He was basically a trainee. It was this one promotion that was putting some guys out there on live shows where it wasn't really time yet. But his gimmick was he just wore like Skittles shirts. You could hear him like call out everything every match. He was awful. That is like the worst one. If I could describe him, it was like a green bean in tights. Like he just looked ridiculous. Like your grandmother could probably beat his ass. Like, yeah, he just called himself Skittles. Never made it, obviously, in wrestling, but yeah.
What's up, Connected? I'll go
Connected.
I'll go WWF, and I'll just without thinking too much, I'll say Ultimate Warrior. So
yeah, it's hard with some of those guys though, because like when it works and you got a formula that works, like that's what you use. Warrior was somebody like certainly in a longer match you'd have to carry him,
Yeah.
like, because he didn't necessarily know pacing and yeah. But hey, what he did well. He was a living cartoon, and
Yeah.
I think had he come along 10 years later, everybody would probably laugh at him and think like, what the fuck is this? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you just slam in Red Bulls in the back. What's going on?
That was my first show I ever went to. It was a WWF house show. Main event was Warrior versus Undertaker in a body bag match. So, I mean, it was exciting for me because it was seeing these people I'd watched on TV in person, So
Yeah.
that was cool, but not a great match, I'm sure. Don't really remember too much, but
Yeah.
my second house show was awesome because I don't think they did this match very often at that time, but it was Hogan versus Flair. And they did like a few shows kind of testing out that match for maybe WrestleMania, and one of them. So
yeah,
that was cool.
It's good to at least get to see the legends at least once live, to have that experience.
I never got to meet Hogan, but at least I got to see him wrestle live, and in the 80s heyday, or I guess that was early 90s, but still.
Yeah, I got to see Hogan. I've actually got a Hogan figure signed. Not from when I met him. I actually got that at Hogan's Beach Shop, which I'm kind of glad, because it came with the certificate and everything. So yeah.
I've got that NWA 8x10 sign that I actually sent him, like index cards. It was back. I had this book, had like people's addresses in it. And I sent those index cards to him to sign, and he sent back all those cards signed plus that 8x10.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like that's pretty cool that he did that.
Yeah. No, your taste sometimes will like change over time with wrestling. I'm just old enough to remember like that. I mean, again, I was little, but like where the say your prayers and take your vitamins kind of stuff was not working anyway, because people forget Hogan was just starting to get booed a little bit before the heel turn, and just wrestling changing in general. And it's funny kind of going back and just looking. I mean, the set of Action Zone tapings, which like I said, they taped like 6, 7, 8 shows, something insane. Like that was just not that long before the Attitude Era, and you had like TL Hopper and Who and all of these just batshit gimmicks, and yeah.
I'm a casual MMA fan, Dirk. I try to watch some of the UFC stuff, and I'll be watching the show on the 14th for sure. So yeah, I was watching it a lot in the past, but I kind of fell off a little bit. But I'm gonna watch that one. It looks like a good card.
Yeah, I'll probably watch the White House thing just because just the setting of that is just wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get choked out on the White House front lawn. That's pretty crazy stuff.
What's up, Corey?
What up, Corey? Yeah, no, I always tell people though, like, I know everything's expensive now. Support a local indie, because some of the best shows I've been at have been independent shows.
Yeah.
Like they really have been, and they're cheaper. There's usually not a bad seat in the house, and guys are out there just killing themselves to put on a big epic production for you. So so take a look around, see what's near you.
What's up, Chewy Gringo?
People coming out for wrestling tonight.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
So I guess I'll kind of go into why it's kind of lost me, and I've told this story before. My initial interest in wrestling came with the lead to WrestleMania 3 and the whole Piper's Pit Hogan Andre thing. I'm that old, so that was my thing. So what led me into wrestling was the story aspect of it. So I can appreciate a good match too, but I've got to have more than like good matches to really keep me interested.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's fallen off lately, but I think what's kind of made me lose interest even more are like the business decisions they've made, like the whole. I think WrestleMania was supposed to be in New Orleans this past year, right? And they moved it to Vegas again.
Yeah.
And then of course next year it's in Saudi Arabia, which I think is just idiotic. Maybe not financially for them, but
they're going to Saudi Arabia in June, and there's a war still on.
Yeah,
so.
I couldn't have my ass there.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, it'd be weird enough going there, but like to actually go there while we're very obviously still in an active combat situation. Yeah. It may fluctuate day to day, but man, I'd be like, I want 2 bags of $100 bills.
Yeah.
2 briefcases of $100 bills for me to go out there and risk, getting shot down or, RPG hitting the turnbuckle next to me. It's I don't care how much they tell me I'm safe. No fucking way. So I don't like some of the decisions. It's funny. I wish I was like just a little more enthusiastic about AEW. Because I do think they do good stuff, and they do good stuff by their talent, like Rebel recently, who had that ALS diagnosis, and they're doing a benefit show. Tony Khan is, helping pay for certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he's probably like a really good guy. So I wish I could root for him a little bit more. There's little things that sometimes annoy me about AEW. And some of their storytelling and different things, not to rehash it all.
That's been the biggest problem for me with them is just their stories suck. I don't know how else to say it other than that. I mean, they lean too heavily on like high spot matches and not storylines.
There's some very good technical wrestling there too. Like they are marketing themselves as the wrestling company.
Yeah.
But I don't, and they've done some good stuff lately. Emotion wise, I don't know if they've ever topped like CM Punk MJF.
No.
Which, certainly not the most wild, crazy spot fest that they've done. But like, I believe those two guys, I believed animosity. I believe they wanted to. I could turn my brain off knowing that it was a work and for a minute, like be on the edge of my seat and believe that these guys wanted to just completely decimate one another. And, there's no high spot that's going to replace just a great promo.
No. What's sad is like one of the greatest moments in AEW history for me was Punk's shoot press conference after that one pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it was just him fucking trashing everybody.
Oh yeah, no, the fact that Khan wasn't able to get them together and say, all right, I want all of you to shut the fuck up, shake each other's hands, and we're gonna make some money now off of this.
That's where Tony Khan will never be a Vince McMahon, because Vince would have had them making money with that shit.
Oh, Vince is a terrible human being.
Yeah.
He's punched his ticket to hell probably a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yes, nobody was. If CM Punk were doing that, I fully believe Vince would have like fish hooked his eye and just started beating his ass if he started doing that at a press conference.
Yeah.
No way. I don't think it happens, quite honestly. Brock Lesnar could be doing that, and I fully believe Vince would probably pick up a chair and just swing it at him.
Yeah.
At that point. So there's little things like that. I mean, again, AEW does do some really good stuff. It's not the worst thing at some point to go in like, all right, I'm starting fresh. Let me see if I can get into some of it. Their pay-per-views are a little too long. Not every match has to be, 20, 30, 40 minutes.
Right.
Not you have to work on like the pacing for some of that. Sometimes I wish WWE would get in that extra match, but their pay-per-views are actually paced out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't had any miserable times watching like pay-per-views for WWE recently. If their big issue is like there is like some filler that feels like
way too many ads.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that first WrestleMania night apparently was god awful when it came to ads.
The first night of WrestleMania was like, very frustrating.
Yeah.
I was getting kind of like, and I don't usually watch Raw live anymore for that reason. I like to be able to skim a little bit, and certainly the commercials, because it's 3 hours. If I don't have to take 3 hours to watch the actual content, I'll wait until later in the night.
I think the other issue I have these days is I can't defend the final days of Vince McMahon and running the company because the show was shit. But I almost rather have that era than the TKO era with the way they're doing shit and the ticket prices and things like that.
I think the product is way better. Vince lost it at a certain point.
Yeah.
And if you really go back to where he was still running things and some of the decisions, Goldberg beating the Fiend, fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, really just the booking of the Fiend in general, like just this everything with that. The Jinder Mahal thing, it was just bad thing after bad thing. Bobby Lashley's sisters, for anybody that remembers that, one of the worst segments in modern history. He was a demented old pervert who there were times where he probably thinks this is hilarious and there's like nobody else that does. So he really lost his edge. A lot of the people that want him back, I'm like, you'd get over that really quick if he did come back, I think, because he doesn't have that spark anymore. There were just too many moments of what the fuck are we doing here? He thought that people like it, in the middle of Daniel Bryan becoming one of the most over guys in the history of the company, he still thought he was going to get away with a Batista Randy Orton WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, like
anybody paying attention would know at that point that is fucking dumb. You can do that match, but it can be on the mid card. It's not. He was undeniable. He hit that point where he was so over. It doesn't matter how you view him. He's undeniable, and it'll take more than just him beating Triple H. Like you got to go all the way with somebody when they get that popular.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Oh, sorry, I drowned on.
No, you're good. I've lost my train of thought. I didn't like it either when he fucking just kind of shit on everybody and rebranded NXT that time to NXT 2.0, and
he was fucking with Triple H.
Yeah,
he like fired all of his like favorites. I really thought for a minute there that we were going to see Triple H start his own promotion and quit, or just quit. It really seemed like there was just animosity and Vince was flexing. I will say, like, I really mourn the loss of old school NXT. It probably would have changed eventually, no matter what, just because AEW came along and NXT couldn't be the, we sign up the indies brand anymore.
Right.
They were just signing everybody. And I mean, it never got stale for that reason. It's like, all right, time for you to go up. Like, we're going to sign the next, dozen big indie acts. So,
There's more
yeah.
grandpa talk here. Oh, talking about the Fiend, that's what I was going to say. I don't think the Wyatt family ever won a big match as a group.
Yeah, no, they never. I always hear this stuff. It's like, well, there's supernatural characters, and that's hard to book. And I'm like, well, you did it with Undertaker.
Undertaker
for
did it for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, you so much of that like just never. It never made sense because Bray Wyatt had the magic.
Yeah,
Who would have thought when he was Husky Harris, but he had the magic. He really did. You only get so many superstars like that coming along, but he was just the mix of everything, and yeah, no, I think there's quite a bit of it. I know there's the argument. It's like, well, look at all the money they're making, and I get that, but like some of the lost opportunities because of Vince, yeah, and Triple H. I mean, again, I've not watched the product recently and thought like, oh God, what this is just shit. Yeah. Like it just feels like maybe he's not fully capitalizing, and it's hard because once the Roman thing ended and he lost that belt, you got to build up to something huge again, and that takes time. That was a 4 or 5 year story. That's
I just don't think that's a long story in this time of life, whatever you want to call it. When you got an event every month, that's a long story to tell.
But they're splitting it up a little better though. Like, again, like these 5-match cards. Because there was a while there where even WWE, like some of these pay-per-views were like going 6-7 hours sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
So I think they've kind of cleaned that up. We can realistically, it's like we could have this match at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, but you're probably going to get less than 10 minutes versus let's just do it on Raw. You can have a banger, or do it at maybe Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And you can have a banger, and less spots on some of these big shows now, unfortunately. I mean, Io Sky and Asuka not making the Mania card, I think, was fucking stupid. Because it had that good story going in, but it is what it is.
The whole Mania build and show were not great this year, so
it was a so-so WrestleMania. It had some highlights,
and it may be worse next year, so we'll see.
Next year is going to be insanely star-studded. I think you very well might get a Rock match. If you don't, he might just never wrestle again.
I think he may. I don't know what it would be, but I mean, Austin will be there in some form.
I've got to think Austin's going to do it. Will work a match there too.
Yeah,
it's going to feel weird. The crowd's going to feel weird. The look, everything is going to feel strange. But you will have a giant card.
I would do an Austin Punk match, I think.
You got to turn Punk heel if you're going to make that work. If he's on a heel run, I'd say yes. If not, I don't know. That's kind of a... Yeah, I mean, I guess you could kind of do the HBK Hogan sort of build where he basically goes heel to get the match and then just, changes back, turns back after. I don't know. The best opponent for Austin would be Logan Paul.
Yeah.
He can bump for him. People will love to just see Austin beating the shit out of Logan Paul.
That's true.
it's not going to hurt Logan Paul to lose to Austin. I think it would be a fun spectacle kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be my pick right now. Or Dominic if he hasn't like gone babyface by that point.
Yeah, I was trying to think who else might. I don't know.
You don't want
Those are good
Austin
ones.
beating like a Braun Breaker or somebody like that would have to slow down for him.
Right.
I think a Logan Paul or a Dominic can basically just get knocked around, and hopefully Austin's got a few bumps in for them. But
or put him in a tag match. Have him team with Danhausen to do something.
Hey, Danhausen's like one of their big money makers now.
Yeah.
So.
That'd be
you got to
fun.
figure him in.
I don't know who it'd be, but yeah.
I think he might be like the number 2 money maker already for
it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it pains me to not be watching it on the regular because it's been such a big part of my life. There was a little era in there, like around 94-ish, that I kind of stopped watching for a while. But yeah, I just wish there would be something that would kind of grab me and bring me back to it. But hopefully something will change. We'll see.
Yeah, wrestling kind of comes in waves. Like there've been my darkest wave with the wrestling was during lockdown because it didn't feel like wrestling, the Thunderdome era.
Yeah.
Like I had a few months, I never stopped watching completely, but it actually kind of hurt me to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
In a way, like I appreciated that they were still out there trying to entertain us and everything, but it was just making me think of what we were missing out on. Because that's not wrestling. You need a crowd. You can have a crowd of 20 people that are rabid and it'll work, but you need a crowd. You need a real paying crowd. So that was my point for wrestling.
Yeah, it was a bad time. There was a lot of time I didn't watch then either. The only thing that was kind of saved it at that time was the whole Roman heel turn, and that was starting to build up, and so I mean that really helped get you through a lot of that shit. So
yeah, no, they were able to zero in on a story and really turn it into something special.
I feel like that whole era really helped him. Because he was kind of you felt like he was just forced up there up until then in the main event, you know what I mean?
So. Yeah, it's funny. He finally found his footing.
Yeah.
He really did. It makes you wonder too, like what different might have been done with like a Batista even back in the day.
Yeah.
How maybe a different set of creative might have gone. But yeah, he feels like a huge superstar. It honestly kind of feels like they might be I don't know. They might be circling back to Roman Cody. They really need Rock has got 2 matches that if he's serious about helping them, he would do like the Cody match since it was already set up.
Yeah.
And Roman, which he could even beat Roman. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel like they could do enough like gimmick in those matches to keep him from getting too hurt. Like have it more like the one could be a bloodline rules. I mean, that's obviously that's the way to do the Roman one, but the Cody one could be like a street fight or something, where he's not doing a ton of like physical moves.
Yeah. No, I think, well, look, I know I think it was a report that Saudi offered The Rock like $20 million to work a match at a past show. So you got to figure it's going to be at least that, if not more, to get him to actually work at Mania. I think he will do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Now the big question is, do they go with Cody or do they go with Roman? I know they've been trying to do that Roman match forever, but Roman's a part-time guy now, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right decision there is. It did probably make more sense to have him go out on his back against Cody.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, Roman has the widest veneers I've ever seen in anyone's mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So then they were right on him on the camera at WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I hope something grabs me, and I do want to go. I think in a couple of years they're probably going to have WrestleMania in Nashville, and I got to go to a WrestleMania at least once. So
yeah, it's a shame that it's so expensive now,
yeah.
but
Well,
things kind of circle around.
This year proved just wait till closer to the show, and if the ticket sales aren't great, you can maybe get them for cheaper. So
I do predict a pretty steep drop because, yeah, I mean, there's some people, they're wrestling fans, they're balling, they're just gonna buy it immediately to get the best seats. But yeah, wait, shop around a little bit.
yeah,
There's not going to be as big of a difference between row 30 and row 40.
I don't care. I just want to be there. If I'm sitting up in the top, whatever. So
Yeah,
they're probably going to have huge screens, so you can see it.
I'm sure the setup, like I said, everything is going to be top notch except just the weirdness of being in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And the shit that's going on now might still be going on then. For all we know.
I actually may watch that show next month or I guess later this month to see what happens. It's
yeah,
like
they're
NASCAR to see if someone's going to crash,
They're doing the King and Queen of the Ring finals there so far. That seems to be the direction, and then they get the title matches at SummerSlam. SummerSlam's 2 nights, so they're gonna have to put together something pretty big for SummerSlam. I'm assuming they're gonna go ahead and I'm assuming Oba and Roman will be one of the mains.
Maybe.
Depending though now, like it's kind of weird. Maybe they have Oba finish up with Brock night 1 and they do something like that where he's got to get through him and then Roman on night 2.
Yeah.
I don't
know. That's another thing. I wish if you're going to do the 2-night thing, just leave it for WrestleMania and make that like the real special weekend. But
it's harder. I mean, there's not a lot of like special attractions. You're losing a lot of them now. So, Cena's gone. He's one that I do actually believe has worked his last match. I guess you can never say never with a possible Saudi payday, but AJ's finishing up. Brock, I believe Brock is nearing the end still.
Yeah,
Goldberg's gone. A lot of these special attractions now, it's going to make it harder and harder. Like, hopefully, like I said, there's positive signs with the Braun Breaker and an Obafemi and Trick Williams and these guys that are getting over and will be able to carry like a main event each for these shows.
It's interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't think I really have anything else to mention on here right now. I was telling Dan before the show, I kind of got caught up watching something else tonight. I was going to watch Obsession, but I want to try to get that in, and maybe next week we can talk a little bit about YouTubers doing horror movies, which is there's a lot of that now and big ones. So
yeah, that's a good topic right now. I was going to say very, very timely. In fact, I think we're doing something similar on Region Free because everybody's been talking about that. And also the fact that some of these guys you wouldn't, like the Palooka brothers, like you would not think
Yeah.
they had two horror masterpieces under
No.
their
No.
belts. But
No. So we'll maybe discuss that. We'll definitely talk about the pioneer of that, Cool Duder, and
I don't count those as movies, but
oh, okay, well, that's cool. Oh yeah, they'll have Hillbilly Jim there for sure.
hell yeah.
But Dan, I'll let you talk about Flesh Food for a little bit.
We will be live tomorrow on Tuesday, so not our normal Wednesday show. We'll be reviewing Backrooms, Spider Noir, Broken Bird, and a bunch of other stuff. I think we're going to have a Patreon show after to talk about a very crazy thing that's happening. I don't quite know how to describe it. I don't think I know of any other YouTuber that has had this happen to them. At least not, in this horror YouTube corner of the internet. So I do think we'll have a Patreon show talking about what's been going on. And yeah, fleshwoundfeatures.com. You can get your tickets now to Flesh Wound Features presents You've Got a Death Curse live from the Reina Dome, July 19th. And this is our live pro wrestling spectacular that is a tribute to the summer slashers you all know and love. So check that out. You can get tickets now. And also October 3rd, Flesh Wound features our WrestleMania. Last Tournament on the Left 2 will be going down, and we got some really crazy shit planned for that. In July, we crown our Scream Queen champion, and Kruger will defend the Grindhouse title. And Last Tournament on the Left 2, 8 of the most bloodthirsty psychopaths from across the country will converge for our horror-themed deathmatch tournament. So check that out. I think I know we're going to start selling tickets for October, I believe, the day of You've Got a Death Curse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. S'mores Indoors will be back here next Monday night for Monday Night Live again, around the same time, 10 p.m. Central. And probably do another Midnight Files this weekend. I'll find a topic to discuss. And if you watch this video after we're live, if you got any suggestions, you can always put them in the comments and take those under advisement. So, I guess until we see you maybe this weekend, everybody have a good night. Take it easy.
Later.